You ever notice how some people call you bro or bestie until you actually need something from them? That's when masks fall off. Everyone looks loyal when life's easy, but the real test of friendship comes in the quiet moments when the spotlight's gone and you're left with truth, not talk. Today, we're talking about the one habit that exposes every fake friend. And trust me, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Fake friends are masters at blending in when life is easy, when the vibe is light, and when everything benefits them in some way. They laugh at your jokes, agree with your plans, and make you feel like they've got your back until the moment comes when the table turns and there's nothing in it for them anymore. That's when you start to notice the pattern. Their support was never about you, it was about convenience. The late night calls when they needed something always answered. But when it's your turn to talk, suddenly they're busy. The truth is, fake friends feed on your energy only when it serves their comfort. They like you happy, but not when your happiness doesn't include them. They like you strong, but not when your strength shows them what real loyalty looks like. When life starts demanding more from you and when you're stressed, uncertain, or broken, that's when fake friends slowly start to disappear. They don't know how to show up when it's not fun anymore. They don't know how to stay when your energy's drained or when the conversation isn't lighthearted anymore. They vanish when your story requires patience, empathy, or silence. That's because fake friends are emotional consumers, not emotional givers. They want the highlights, not the real-life moments that test relationships. They want to share your table when it's full, but won't help you cook when the pantry's empty. And that habit, that selective presence, is exactly what gives them away every single time. You can test this easily. Share something that doesn't benefit them, maybe a need, maybe a dream that doesn't include them, or a boundary that doesn't serve them. Watch their reaction. Real friends lean in and ask how they can help. Fake ones subtly pull away or change the subject. They don't clap when the focus shifts from them to you, because the friendship was never about connection, it was about transaction. The second the benefit expires, so does their effort. That's why their messages slow down, their interest fades, and suddenly they just need space. It's not space they need, it's attention. And when they're not the center of it, they lose motivation to stick around. The worst part is, fake friends don't always realize they're being fake. Some are so used to surface level relationships that they think that's normal. But if you pay attention, their habits speak louder than their words. They'll promise loyalty, but it'll always be conditional. They'll say, I got you, but it only applies when you're easy to handle. The moment you become complicated, when you're hurting, frustrated, or chasing something they can't relate to, they step back. Not because they can't care, but because caring takes effort, and effort doesn't benefit them. And that's the pattern that exposes them faster than anything else. So here's the truth. The habit that exposes every fake friend is simple. They only show up when it benefits them. That's it. You don't need to test them with drama or confrontation. Life will do that for you. When things get quiet, when the energy shifts, when you stop entertaining their needs and start focusing on yours, they'll show their true colors. They'll ghost, they'll deflect, or they'll suddenly accuse you of changing, but you're not changing. You're just seeing clearly. The silence after you set a boundary tells you everything words never will. You don't have to chase explanations. You don't have to fix what was never real. Just observe who's there when you have nothing to offer, because that's where loyalty lives, not in the loud moments of laughter, but in the quiet ones where showing up doesn't reward them. Real friends stay when there's nothing to gain. Fake friends fade the moment the spotlight dims. That single habit, showing up only when it benefits them, exposes them faster than any argument ever could. Listening is one of the simplest things to do, but also the rarest. Most people don't actually listen. They wait for their turn to talk. That's why genuine friends stand out so quickly. When you speak, they don't treat your words like a pause before their next story. They actually lean in. They remember what you said. They don't twist your pain into a competition or your joy into their comparison. You can feel the difference. It's in the way they let you finish your sentence, the way they hold space for your silence, the way they make you feel heard instead of managed. Real friends listen without an agenda, and that one habit tells you more about someone's heart than 1,000 promises ever could. Fake friends, on the other hand, have a predictable rhythm. You start sharing something meaningful, and they find a way to redirect the spotlight. You mention your struggle, and they jump in with their own. You celebrate a win, and they subtly remind you of theirs. The conversation always loops back to them. That's how you know their interest isn't genuine. It's transactional. They don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. They collect your words not to care about them, but to compare them. That's why every deep talk with a fake friend leaves you a little more empty. It's not that you talk too much. It's that you were never really heard. And over time, that emotional imbalance starts to expose the truth. The habit of listening without turning the spotlight back is the rarest form of respect. It says, "You matter even when it's not about me." And you can feel when someone means that. They don't interrupt to fix you or make it about their version of the story. They let your pain breathe, your thoughts spill, your emotions exist without judgment. You can call them at midnight and know they won't make you feel like a burden. That kind of presence doesn't come from convenience. It comes from care, and that's the difference between hearing and listening. Fake friends hear noise, real friends hear need. And when you see that clearly, it becomes impossible to mistake one for the other. It's easy to fake support when life is good, when everything you say fits into their comfort zone. But when you bring up something raw, something real, fake friends reveal themselves instantly. They'll get restless, dismissive, or turn the topic around to how your feelings inconvenience them. Because true listening requires empathy. And empathy takes humility. It takes the ability to put your ego aside long enough to understand that not every moment has to orbit around you. And fake friends don't do humility well. They crave attention, not connection. They want the performance of friendship, not the patience it requires. That's why the habit of listening becomes such a powerful filter. It's the one thing they can't fake for long. When someone listens without trying to outshine, outtalk, or outdo you, that's when you found something real. It's not about how long they've known you or how much they say they care. It's about how they make you feel when you open up. Do they hold your words like they matter, or do they rush to replace them with their own? You can tell everything about a person by how they handle your vulnerability. Fake friends use it for leverage, real ones protect it. And in a world full of loud voices, silence with intention speaks the loudest. So pay attention to who listens, not who nods, not who reacts, who listens, who doesn't compete, who doesn't hijack the conversation, who doesn't make your story a stepping stone to theirs. That one habit, listening without turning it back to themselves, is the quietest, clearest proof of who's real. Because fake friends can talk all day about loyalty, but real ones show it by what they don't say when it's your turn to speak. Boundaries are the mirror that show you who's real and who's pretending. Fake friends love you as long as you keep saying yes. Yes to their plans, yes to their needs, yes to their version of the relationship. But the moment you say no, the moment you choose peace over pleasing, their energy shifts. Suddenly, you're distant. Suddenly, you've changed. The truth is, you haven't changed. You've just stopped allowing behavior that only served them. Fake friends don't leave because you did something wrong. They leave because your boundaries took away their control. They liked the version of you that was always available, always accommodating, always selfless, not the version that values balance. That's why when you start drawing lines, they start disappearing. Real friends don't get threatened by boundaries. They get it. They understand that love doesn't mean access without limits. They know that healthy people need space, need rest, need to say no sometimes. But fake friends interpret your boundaries as betrayal because they were never there for connection. They were there for access. You were their emotional outlet, their free therapist, their safety net. The moment you stop letting them drain your energy, they call you cold. But it's not cold to protect your peace, it's wise. Boundaries reveal intentions faster than any argument ever could because they remove the part of the relationship that benefits the other person more than you. What's left after that, or who's left, is the truth. Is fake friends have a subtle way of making you feel guilty for choosing yourself. They'll say things like, you've changed, or you're too busy now, when what they really mean is, you're not prioritizing me anymore. That's emotional manipulation disguised as disappointment. They expect access, not accountability. And when you stop being the version of yourself that bends to keep them comfortable, they'll quietly start pulling away, hoping guilt will bring you back. But guilt only works on people who care, and that's why it's such a dangerous trap. Fake friends count on your empathy to keep the door open. Real friends respect the door and knock before entering. Boundaries don't ruin relationships. They reveal the ones that were built on convenience. You'll notice how quickly fake friends get defensive when you say no. They start to treat your limits like rejection instead of self-respect. They want the easy version of friendship, the one where everything flows their way, where your energy is endless and your time is free. But once you start reclaiming your energy, you break the pattern. You stop being predictable. And when fake friends realize they can't control your availability anymore, they lose interest because control was the only thing keeping them close. That's why people who disappear when you set boundaries were never really your people. They were just passengers enjoying the free ride. You can tell a lot about someone by how they react to your boundaries. The right people won't need you to explain or apologize. They'll respect the line without taking it personally. The wrong ones will make it about them. They'll question your loyalty, guilt trip you for changing, or accuse you of being selfish. But selfishness isn't choosing yourself. It's expecting others to sacrifice themselves for your comfort. And that's exactly what fake friends do. They don't want balance. They want access. So when that access is gone, they leave, proving that they were only ever loyal to their benefit, not to you. If you really want to see someone's true colors, stop being so accessible. Stop over-explaining. Stop saying yes out of habit. Stop shrinking to make them comfortable. Watch who stays. Because real friends won't flinch when you draw a line. They'll respect it because they value you. Fake